Let me see. Let me see how it looks. Oh, I'll just sit beside the light. The light. Oh, okay. So, good morning, everybody. Um, if you have your strap again, just go ahead and put it into a relatively small loop, and we'll adjust it as we go. Because we're going to play with that in just a little bit. But otherwise, go ahead and start by sitting up and find a really good way to sit. You know that you can sit on a pillow or a blanket or a block, whatever it is that you need to get your body up and your hips up. And then move the flesh out from your sit bones. Take the shoulders up to your ears and squeeze them back and let them come down. And then snuggle yourself into your mat and just feel really grounded here as we start our morning. Maybe close the eyes and start to tap into the breath. And just notice where you breathe from, right? Where you breathe. Like when you take a breath in, do you feel it move through the entire circumference of your body, or do you feel it mostly just at the front of your chest? Just kind of check in there a little bit. No forced breathing, just check in. The back of the neck is nice and long, the jaw is soft. Good, one more here. Good. And then open the eyes. And we played with this at the Friday Park class. But I want you to, as best you can, take your hands onto your ribs. So not at your waist here, right? But into the ribs as best you can. And if it's hard for your wrist, just adjust your hands as you need to. And as if you were holding these ribs and giving them just a little bit of a hug. So you're just softly pushing in. And then as you inhale, let the ribs press out against the hands. And feel the side body expand. Maybe hold it a moment and exhale, let it come in. Good. And do that. Continue to do that. I won't put a count on it. Just feel it press and really try to press the ribs out. And then let them come back in. Good. And I didn't say good morning to Amy, but I did see you. Good morning, Amy. Press out and in. Good. And again. Good. Two more right here. And out. Good. And last one, big inhale. Big exhale, like let the hands press those ribs in. And then try to move the ribs a little bit side to side. So it's less moving your whole torso, but it's just the ribs. And let the hands help here a little bit. And even if you have to do like a little C clamp of the ribs, just start to feel a little bit more movement, right? Maybe even a figure 8 kind of movement. I was talking about this at class the other day and how important it is to keep the ribs malleable, right? Keep them moving, especially as we get older. And then start a little kind of round circle with the ribs and feel it in the back, feel it in the front. Just move, whatever feels good to you. Just move, right? And then let go of the hands, take the arms out and shift side to side. And even though the waist is moving and the hips are moving, try to move from that space of the ribs. Good. The arms are out. I know the lighting is a little funky this morning, so um, hopefully it's okay. And breathe. That's it. Couple more right here. And then come to the center, turn the palms up, reach the arms up, soften the shoulder blades down. The arms are reaching up, the fingers aren't screaming, they're soft but straight. And then feel the arms start to press up out of the rib cage, out of the rib cage, and then start to move side to side. Yep. And breathe. And notice, right, as we start to move the ribs, and then here with the arms up, if you can, do big circles. Ah, big circle. Like just move those ribs around and go the other way and breathe, right? Turn into little snake charmers here. And then bring the arms out to the side, turn the palms down and let go. Whew, and roll your shoulders. And take a really deep breath and let it go. And then, however you're seated, put your hands on your thighs and press your hands into your thighs. Lift the side body even more. Take the shoulders up to the ears. Take a deep breath. Push up, push up, push up. And exhale, let go. Good. One more here. Push down into the thighs. The shoulders rise up. The side body gets long. Push down into the legs as you lift straight through the arms if you can. And exhale, let it go. Good. And roll it out, everybody. And let's straighten those legs. Whew. Right. So when I was a paramedic, um, it knowing, I mean, the stiffness of the ribs had so much to do with us getting older, not taking deep breaths, right? Those muscles in between the ribs get so tight. And so it was really important to just keep those babies moving. So that's your goal for today, is to move those ribs. All right, nice straight legs, move the flesh out from the sit bones. Roll the shoulders back. Let your hands come to the floor. Find Dandasana. It's early in my body. Time change. Good. So roll the shoulders back. Tone through the belly. Fire up your legs. Maybe the heels of your feet lift off the floor just a little bit. Watch for hyperextension. What we're looking at is that quadricep engagement. And then notice maybe which leg do you feel more? Right? Which leg seems to be more active? And then press your right heel to the floor, lift your left leg. Take the arms up optionally, find your breath. That's it. Breathe. And then take the leg out to the side. Hang on, hang on, hang on. Go as far as your leg will go. Set it down. So now you're in this funky wide leg pose. Inhale, reach up. Take the right hand down, reach the left arm over. Here comes the sun. And inhale up. Same side, same way. Press down, stretching through the ribs. Inhale up. Good. One more right here. Exhale. Breathe and inhale up. Good. Arms stay up if you can. Squeeze the heck out of your belly. Lift the leg. Woo. Take it back. Hold on and let it go. Woo. Shake it out. Good stuff. Good stuff. All right. Hands down. Shoulders roll back. Chest is nice and tall. Belly is toned in. Lift your right leg. Try not to collapse too much. You might lean back a little bit. That's okay, but don't collapse. And when you're ready, float it, float it, float it. See where it'll go. Ooh, set it down. That's amazing. That's a whole bunch of work for the hip, right? Good. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, left hand down. Stretch that right side. Oh, that should feel good. And inhale up. Exhale, stretch that right side. I think I said left. And take it up one more time. Take it down. Stretch, feel that just juicy stretch of side body. And take it up. Maybe the arms stay up. Squeeze your belly, lift that leg, float it back to the front, and set it down. Ooh, yeah, right? It's amazing, isn't it? That little bit of work. Good. Hands down to the floor. Lift that left leg again. Bring it into your chest. Step it over. Lift up nice and tall. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, take them out to the sides and just roll the shoulder blades back and feel that. So press your right leg down, lift your chest, and do a little kind of windmill action until you come into twist. Find your breath. That's it. Good. Release the twist on this side. Inhale the arms up. Twist to the other side. And let the arms come down. And breathe. That's it. Good. Inhale up. Exhale, twist back. You got this. And last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist again. So open twist versus a closed twist. Breathe. And take it center. Arms up, lift your foot. Take it off. Stretch it out. You know I'm not going to let you get away with not doing this one again because it's so much fun. Set it down. Stretch really tall. Right arm down. Stretch over. I am fully in the sunbeam. Breathe. Just hold. You might not be on elbow. If you're not, no worries. Just feel the stretch for your side body. And reach up. Lift the left leg. Bring it over and set it down. Roll your shoulders out. Good. Let's go to the other side. Good. Hands come behind you. Lift your right leg. Bring that knee to chest. Step it over. Inhale, reach the arms up. Take them out like a little windmill and then twist to your right. Come into your twist. Make sure your left leg is nice and grounded, right? So there's energy there. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, twist to the left. Nice open twist here, just stretching out our spines. And take it up. Exhale, twist right. Last one. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, twist left. Good. And inhale those arms up. Lift that foot, step it, reach it, take it out to the side. I think I cheated a little bit more on that one. Good. Square to that front leg, left hand down, right arm over. Just hold. Ground the right leg. Breathe. Really both legs, but specifically that right one. And feel that nice stretch of the ribs. Don't let your head hang, by the way. That's so much stress for the neck. Just keep it nice and aligned so you don't feel any tension there, ideally. And push up, arm up, lift your leg. Woo, take it forward and let it come down. Good job, everybody. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. Good. And then let's come to hands and knees. Yeah, have one block on either side of you or just where you can get to it. Start with a nice table pose and then some cats and cows here. Let's just keep stretching through the spine, especially after doing early twists. As we stretch into a nice cat and inhaling into a nice cow pose, finding our breath again. Breathe. That's it. One or two more. And come back to table pose. Step forward with your right leg. And start with your hands on your blocks. And feel the stretch of your front hip. So as we start moving a little bit more in class, and when we're talking about warrior, extended side angle, possibly half moon, my focus today is going to be on the front hip, rolling back and down so that the hip, knee, and ankle stay in alignment. So take your thumb into your right hip crease and hold on to that hip a little bit and just kind of roll it back and down. And then scissor the legs toward each other isometrically and feel how active that is for you in your body. So keep that. One, stay low. Two, flip your toes under and lift into a high lunge. So same thing here. right? If you can, you're taking your right thumb to your right hip crease and you're rolling it back. And you might notice that when you roll the hip back, the knee follows, right? So there's a point of no return. You don't want to go so far out that your knee splays out, but you want to keep it from rolling in. So hold that, put your hand back on your block, lift your toes of your front foot off the mat so that your arch, your inner arch gets active. Lengthen through your torso, fire up your back leg, right? Simple stuff. Breathe. And then lower your knee. Feel your lunge, let go of your back toes. Press into the mat. Try to isometrically draw your knee and your heel toward each other. Good. And then just release it. Switch sides. Bring your left foot forward. You're in your lunge. Everybody in the room knows that good alignment, front knee, front ankle. Feel that, right? Nice little tone to the belly. And then take your left hand, let me turn it around. Take your left hand into your left hip crease, your left thumb, roll that hip back. Feel that like motion of that hip lining up with the other hip. Good. Hand back to your block. Either stay there or lift off your right knee. Fire up your legs. Thumb to hip crease. Roll that hip back. Feel that. Breathe. Hand goes back. Now lift your front toes. Fire up that inner arch. Find your breath. Lengthen through your chest. Tone the belly. Fire up the back leg. Woo. Breathe. Feel all that activity. Lower your knee. Good. Step back. Bring your right foot forward again. Flip your toes under, lift your knee if you can. If not, leave the knee down. Okay. No worries either way. Keep your left hand on your block. Take your thumb to your right hip crease. Draw it back. Start to twist to the right. Yep. Tone the belly, lengthen the chest, fire up your back leg, lift your right arm up toward the ceiling. If you were to look at your right knee, right foot, they should be lining up pretty much in the same direction. Find your breath. Circle your right arm, give it a little bit of opening of your chest. Why is that important? We'll get to it in a minute. Whew. And release it. Let it come back down to your block. Listen up. Your knee is up or down. That's okay. Straighten your right leg and breathe. And check out your pose. So, ideally, both feet are pointing forward. I know a lot of students, they kind of turn their back foot. That's okay. But if you can be on the ball mound of your back foot, that's even better. Feel this pose, right? You're stretching your body. We're warming up that front leg's hamstring. Take your right thumb to your right hip crease. Draw that hip crease deep as if you could pull your torso out from that. Notice how that just increased the stretch of your hamstring. Find your breath and let that hand come back down. Lower your left knee. Switch sides. Ooh, yeah. And breathe. So here we are again, right? We're finding this pose. If you can, you're lifting your right knee off the floor. If not, that knee stays down. You can do all of this with the knee down. Your left thumb to your left hip crease. Roll the hip crease back. And feel as if your torso could come out of that hip crease. Right? And just notice. And then start to let the left shoulder go up toward the left. Notice that the hip crease doesn't roll forward, right? We're not poking our little booties out, right? We're keeping it back, keeping the glutes back, and then take the arm up. Coming into a nice easy twist. No biggie. We've done this one a zillion times. Find your breath, circle the arm. Open up your chest, everyone. There you go. One more nice big circle. Find your breath. Let that hand come back to your block. Again, your back knee is up or down. Straighten your front leg. So look at your feet, maybe point all the toes forward, right? Instead of dropping that heel. Lengthen your torso. That front hip gets nice and deep. The hamstring gets a nice sweet stretch. Finding our poses here. Breathe. Good. Listen up. You're going to bend your front leg, walk your blocks forward, push off your back foot, come into a forward fold. Maybe shake out your hips a little bit. Maybe let your torso come way down toward the floor. You can move the blocks out of the way if forward fold is easy for you and your hands touch the floor. Feel your chest move toward your feet as opposed to your nose toward your knees, right? So we're not rounding here. We're getting nice and long. Maybe rock forward and back on your feet a little bit if you feel comfortable there. That's it. One or two more. Ooh, yeah. And then bend your knees, hands to knees. Lift your chest, lengthen your tailbone, and come all the way up. Oh, good. Roll it out. The sun is so strange right now. Good. You're going to grab one of your blocks and place it between your thighs. I like the long way. You can do long or short. And I notice my block blends in pretty well with my pants. Good. So your feet are parallel to each other. I want you to give the block a good squeeze. I don't know why, that just always feels good to me, right? It just lines everything back up again. Find your breath, squeeze, 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 and let go of the squeeze. And again, nice squeeze and let go. Good. Three more. Squeeze in, get lots of activity. Good. I just walked my feet in a little bit so I could feel the lower part of those inner thighs squeezing in and release. Two more. Squeeze in and out. Good. Squeeze in. This time I want you to hold and just check out where else you feel it, right? It's not just the inner thighs working, right? It's the glutes working, it's the outer hips working, everything drawing into the center. Take your hands to your hips, find a little solid point that you can look at, and then see if you can come up on the ball mounds. You don't have to do this, by the way, and you could put a finger to a wall. Keep the chest tall. Find your breath. If you're still okay, squeeze that block. Arms up. Woo! Here we go. Rocking and rolling already this morning. Good. Lower the heels. Drop down. Let's find chair pose. And breathe. Belly is toned in, right? We're finding that pose. And then just stand up and let go. Good. If you had the block long, take it short ways. Squeeze in again. Squeeze through the thighs and let go. Good. Two more. Squeeze in. Like this wave of activity and let go. Good. One more. Squeeze it in and let go. Good. Squeeze the block and hold. Hands to hips. We're doing this one again. If you can, come up on the toes. Squeeze in, right? It's the inner ankles, right? If we can get those inner ankles to train toward the center, that's going to help our balance so much more. Working the calf muscles, arms up. Woo, there went mine. Squeeze. Good. Lower the heels. Sit back. Nice long poses, right? We all know chair pose by now, right? We're not arching in our lower backs. We're finding that really good alignment here. Good strong bellies, chest lifted, tailbone long, and stand all the way up. Good. Exhale all the way down. Shake out the hips. And then just grab your block, release that block. No problems there, right? Bend your knees, squeeze your belly, hands to knees, press all the way up and roll it out. Good. Grab your strap. So take your strap wide enough, or yeah, wide enough that you can step both legs through. And always be careful when we're fussing with straps. You know, being near a wall or a chair is always a good thing. And then tighten it up enough that your legs are roughly hips width apart. I don't know if you can see that. And yet you've got good purchase on the straps. Once you're there, make sure your buckle, by the way, isn't pressing into your flesh because you could leave a little mark there. I want you to press against the strap, like press against. So truly, and I don't do it, but I should, we should do these kinds of things every day, I think, to balance the inner and outer legs, inner and outer hips. I think they could be really valuable. Good. So squeeze out. Good. Now, bend your knees. Watch this. If the strap's too tight, loosen it a little bit. Bend your knees a little bit. Dig deep into your hip creases. Keep pressing against your strap and come down low. Knees are soft or bent. Widen your stance as much as you need to keep purchase on the legs. Bend your knees more. Lift your chest. Find chair pose. Right? And notice the difference in the feeling of squeezing in versus pressing out, working a whole different set of muscles. Find your breath and stand up. Good. Release. Inhale, reach up. Bend the knees as you come down. Maybe hands touch the floor. Press against your strap. Feel the legs, the hips nice and even if they're a little bit wider than your normal. Tone the belly in, lift up, find chair pose. Find your breath. Where is it for you? Firing up all these muscles, firing up the legs, and stand all the way up and exhale. Good. Shimmy out of your strap. And then we just have one more thing here. I want you to throw the strap over your right shoulder and then grab it from behind. Yeah. Your legs can be mountain pose-ish. That's okay. And all I want you to do is take that top part of your strap and pull it back behind you and maybe grab it with your with your hand as well and just pull that shoulder back. So it's real simple. We're just looping the shoulder and drawing it back. Right? Feel that. So this opening of the chest. And why are we doing this, right? Because when we look at a pose like triangle pose, the potential is that or the habit is that we roll the shoulder forward. I want you to get a really good felt sense of this shoulder drawing back so that when it rises up, it stays in that side plane. Yeah. And then switch sides, just loop over and grab it with your same side hand or the opposite hand, sorry about that, and just pull it back. Right? And we've done strap work for shoulders in other ways, but it's that same sensation that then when you bring the arm up, it doesn't roll forward. Yeah, there we go. Good. And then grab your strap. Actually, let's do one sun salute just to make sure we're nice and warmed up leg wise so we don't go right into the heavier poses. So come to the front of your mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, use your breath. Soften the knee, step back, right leg. Good, listen up. Bend your right knee, take it to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. Oh, exhale, hands come down to the floor. Lift your knees, step back, downward facing dog. Once you're in down dog, bend one knee and then the other. Make sure your shoulders have lots of integrity, right? Hands are pressing in. Good. Inhale to your tippy toes. Exhale, plank pose. And just hold here for a moment. Squeeze the inner elbows toward each other. Lengthen through and broaden through the chest. Drop the knees optionally. Come on down, chaturanga. Release to a little baby cobra. Just warming up this back. Exhale, push into your knees and your hands to do a push-up. And downward facing dog. Pedal out your feet. Step forward with your right leg. Lower your left knee to the floor. Inhale, reach the arms up. Breathe. Exhale, hands to the floor. Lift your left knee, step forward. Bend the knees. Inhale, reach all the way up. That's one side. Exhale, hands to your heart. Good. When you're ready, let's inhale, reach up. Exhale, float it down. Soften your knees, step back, left leg. Pause here for a moment. Back knee is up or not. Your left hand is on the mat. The right arm opens up, coming into a twist. That's it. Circle that arm back down to the floor. Step back, downward facing dog. Plank pose. Knees up, knees down. Chaturanga. Take it down. Release to a low cobra, low back bend. Exhale, push into your knees and your hands. Like get yourself to do that push up if you can. Step back, downward facing dog. Breathe. Left foot steps forward. Right hand stays on your mat. Left arm raises up. Side twist here. Breathe. Nice. Circle that arm back down to the floor. When you're ready, push off your back foot. Find your forward fold. Bend your knees, everyone. Hands to knees and come up. Good. Roll it out. Now we're warmed up, right? Good. And then feel the ribs again, right? As we take deeper breaths, those muscles get stretched, right? Like taffy. And that's what we want. We want taffy. We don't want it to get hard and stiff. All right. So grab your strap. You're going to want both blocks up at the front of your mat. Your strap, let's see, I'll do right leg first. So you want to take the loop, a small loop around your right thigh with the tail end of the loop hanging off the outside of your leg. So just be careful, step into the strap, bring it up to your upper thigh. Tighten it enough that it won't slip back down with the tail hanging out the side. And then just split the legs for a second. This is just demo part. Just widen your stance enough that you can hold onto the strap and give it a pull back, right? So this is the motion we're looking for. This movement of the front hip back a little bit. And then when we pull it back and stay, the front hip, front knee, front foot are in alignment. So that's what we're looking for here. And I realized by doing my front leg, my right leg, let's see if I can do it this way. Yeah, I was gonna have my back to you right away, so I didn't wanna do that. So we've got that strap. Now take the stance long. And you can even start sideways, which a lot of people do, and then turn your front foot for warrior two stance. Front heel, back heel. Bend your front knee. Grab a hold of your strap and give it a little tug. And then reach behind with your other hand so that you have that purchase. And then bend your front leg and just take the front arm out. And notice that. Now, I'm holding on to, I am going to turn my back to you guys. I'm holding on to the strap. Both shoulders are rolling back. And I want you to feel how that feels in your body as we broaden through the chest. The hips are mostly sideways. I'm not pulling up on the strap. I'm pulling straight back as if I could go back to my heel. Both shoulders roll back and breathe. Now, if your strap is long enough, Want you to take your strap from behind, loop it around your back shoulder so it comes to the front of your shoulder and around the back, and then pull that shoulder down. So it initially it comes from behind you, but it comes forward around the front of your shoulder, behind your shoulder, and then you're just pulling down. Yeah. So, and then pull down on the strap and feel your shoulder press back, right? Now take that arm out, tone your belly, fire up your legs, think warrior two pose, and feel the shoulders move away from each other. And also feel the front hip rolling back from this position, straighten your front leg and breathe. Guess what, right? Triangle pose. Roll that front shoulder or that back shoulder back. You're holding on. Just let your hand come to your leg anywhere. Draw the front hip back. Pull a little bit on that strap to roll the top shoulder back. And then see where your body will come down. If you start to get a lot of resistance with your top strap, what's that mean? It means you're too low. That means your body wants to collapse down, and that's not what we want. So, one, breathe here. Two, you're going to grab that strap with your other hand, take that down your leg, I know, and raise your top arm up. So, we are tied up here. I know, I'm getting looks from the room here. It's tricky. So, we had it back behind us. You're just going to grab it with your right hand, right legs forward, and take it up. And as you create tension on that strap, you get all these alignment cues in your body. Big deep breath. Good. Slide that leg up, bend your front leg, take the arm out, warrior two. Breathe and release. Holy moly, I know, right? That was a whole lot. Let's see if I can even repeat that on the other side. That one first side is always the training side. So bring your feet together. Take the loop out. Make sure the loop is going to be on the outside of your hip, right toward the back. So step in, left leg, buckle to the side or somewhere where it feels comfortable. Tighten it up enough. Your left foot is forward, your right foot is back. When we're looking at these poses, and why is this important? Because if our stance is good, our poses are going to be a lot stronger. Front heel to back heel or front heel to back arch. The arch is less stable. The heel is more stable. If that's not stable enough, go wide, right? Take that front foot out to the side. But then grab the loop and draw that hip back. It's such an automatic, right? If you've been doing this for a while, it's like, yes, that's where that hip sits in this pose so that I can line these bones up. But then the belly tones in, the tailbone lengthens, right? Same thing, grab the strap with your opposite hand or your back hand so you can hold it in place and take the front arm out. Here's our version of warrior two. You're gazing over your front fingers. You're giving that strap a little tug to keep the hip back, and you're finding your breath. So one, stay here, or two, you take that back strap, wrap it around the front of your body, hit the boot on the way, take it to the front, reach behind and grab it so that you have the shoulder now, right? And just notice how that feels once we draw the shoulder back, right? And then breathe and just notice. Here we are. Here we are. Right now, we got this toned in, this lifted, the shoulder back. Hold on to it. Begin to straighten your front leg. Fire up the legs, tone the belly. Lean forward, let the hand land where it will. Roll your top shoulder back. This is where we're working today. Top shoulder back, front hip back. Grab the strap with your front hand again, with your left hand. Pull it down your leg and lift up. I hope you're all getting this. Breathe, good tone to the belly. Feel the front hip drawing back. Feel the top shoulder drawing back. Life is good. And then bend your front leg as you come up. Warrior two. Release. And release. Oh, good. Take that all tied up and release it off your leg. And just set your strap aside for now. And roll your shoulders. Good. Inhale, reach up. Let me turn sideways. Exhale all the way down. Just breathe. Walk your hands forward. Come into downward facing dog. And then imagine straps around both shoulders, drawing both shoulders back as we press into the hands, as we tone the belly, as we deepen the crease of our hips. Maybe to plank pose. Good. Breathe. Imagine the strap is behind us, pulling both shoulders away from the floor. Find your breath. Hang on, breathe, right? Some of you are going to stay right here. Some of you are going to drop to knees. Also appropriate. Everybody else, lift one leg. Find your breath. You got it. And then press up, three-legged downward facing dog, optional again. You can lower that foot back down to the floor. Try to level out the hips. Step all the way through, right leg. Drop your side foot to the, or back foot to the side position. Roll your front hip back. Take your right hand to your knee. Lift up. Warrior two. Feel the strap pulling that hip back. Feel the strap pulling the shoulder back. Tone your belly, straighten your front leg. Lean forward without deep diving into the hip. Lower that hand to your shin, to your anywhere on your leg, to your block, right? Take your top arm up. Squeeze your belly, lengthen your pose. Feel the ribs, right? Moving equally into space, and breathe. No strain in the head, neck. Yep. Squeeze those legs. Come on up. Good. And then cartwheel forward. Ooh. Straighten out your back foot. Step back, downward facing dog. I know, right? Are you with me? Plank pose. Whew. Remember, knees up, knees down. Don't do more than your body is willing to today. Lift the left foot optionally. Three or not downward facing dog. Press up. Squeeze your belly. Step all the way through to your lunge. Drop your back foot, side position. Draw that front hip back. Left hand to left knee. Push up, warrior two. Find your pose. Squeeze that back body. Shoulders are so active, right? Keep drawing that front hip back, but the belly in. And then straighten your front leg. Lean forward. Lower that arm anywhere. Breathe as your top arm comes up. Triangle pose. Find your breath. You got it. And lift up. Whew. And release. If you can release and just push and step forward. I think we're warmed up now, don't you? And breathe. All right, so that brings us to half moon. I'm just moving stuff out of my way. Grab both of your blocks. Now I'm going to offer lots and lots of possibilities. One, just come off your mat completely, right? I'm very tempted to come off my mat completely because if you're on a mat or a double mat, it's that much trickier. Have a wall behind you is another awesome option. So I'm just going to move my mat. I have no shame. I'm moving my mat. I don't care. So if you have a wall behind you or near you, wow, look at that light. Maybe it's even better because you can work on alignment there. If I had you in front of me, we'd be doing that. So I want you to take your left foot forward and your right foot back as if you were going to go. Cease, can you lower that blind for me? I'm getting blinded. That's better. Thank you. Um, so that your front foot is forward. It's that same lineup, right? Hip, knee, foot. Your back foot, I wouldn't go deep. I wouldn't go really far. This is the pose we're looking for. It is that same thing. In fact, you know what? Let's grab our strap. Sorry about that. Grab your strap. Same thing. Take it on the left leg so that the tail is to the outside. Change my mind. Again. Again, I changed my mind. Your one block is forward of your foot. And everybody, when they do that, it's 6 to 12 inches and it's to the pinky side, but you'll know when you come down about where that block should be. Grab the strap with your back hand and tug on that hip again. The other block is here just in case you need it, but it's not necessary. So when you lean forward, I want you to train your eye on this block and reach for it. So you're coming off of most of that back foot and you're just going to see, but feel that front hip rolling back. When you're ready, press into that top foot, whoop, and lift the back leg. And then feel the strap, one pulling your front hip back into alignment, but also drawing that shoulder back as well. Find your breath and breathe. Only if you want, right? This is more stable. Slide the arm up your strap to take the arm up. Tone the belly, press into the standing legs. Find your breath. Bend your front knee. And release. Yeehaw, shake it out, everybody. Good. We're going to go to the other side. So again, when we're using the strap, it just like puts the hip in place so that the knee isn't doing all of this kind of stuff, right? And we can kind of lock that in and get our stability. So switch sides. Throw that strap along your right leg with the strapped tail to the outside. Your right foot is forward, your left foot is back. You're going to reach behind and grab the strap with your hand up close to your hip. But then make sure the strap isn't a trip hazard once you've done that. Bend into your front knee, eyeball that block. Like you got this block. And then start to lean forward, weight your front foot, adjust your block as you need to, and start to lift. You don't have to worry so much about the leg lifting really high, but the hips open up. And then the shoulder, the top shoulder opens up. And we press into both legs. Whoop, and breathe. At least I did it the same on both sides. Whoop, and breathe. Yep. All right, I got a little gravity issue here. Hang in there. Yep. If you want, take that top arm up. Breathe. Squeeze in. Maybe you pull on the strap a little to give you some more stability. And lower down. Oh, and come on up. Wow. And lower. Take that strap off. And breathe, everybody. I love half moon, but it is a tricky little pose, right? If you, in your practice, just so you know, if you have a wall anytime, you can come up to the wall. And I'm just going to do a quick show here, right? So I'm close to the wall. Now I'm leaning into the wall, heel into the wall, shoulders into the wall. This, I could stay here all day and play with that opening, 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 right? Pull back, all that stuff with the stability of the wall, helping us to not worry about falling. It's an awesome thing. All right, so let's come back to the front of the mat. Inhale, reach up. Exhale all the way down. Step back, downward facing dog. Really pedal it out. Shake out the hips, maybe turn side to side, right? Just dropping the heels to one side and then the other, just stretching it out. And then come to plank. Plank. Roll the inner elbows toward each other, broaden through the shoulders, fire up the legs. Do a little belly tuck as the chest lengthens. Lower your knees to the floor. Keep that half plank if you can. And some of you I know, right, Phil in particular, probably could do regular old push-ups. Everybody else, 5 chaturanga push-ups, which means elbows trained back, not sideways. 1, 2, 3, 4, last one, 5. Nice job. And sit back. Find child's pose. Feel your breath, everyone. Good. And then come right onto your bellies, right onto your bellies. Lower down all the way at first and just let your hands, either your forehead's resting on your hands or your chin. I keep my chin up just so my voice won't get too muffled. And feel your hips, kind of rock them side to side. And then press your hips and your pubic bone into the mat. From here, I want you to just lift your left leg. Just lift. Straight leg as much as you can. So straight knee as much as you can. There might be a little bend there. That's okay. Feel your glute, right? Feel your hip. And lower down. Lift your other. Press into your hip bone. Don't let your hip or your glute pop up. Squeeze up and lower. If you're able, this time on the left side, just bend your knee. And notice the hips tendency to want to pop up, right? You don't want that. So press down through your hips. Lengthen that thigh. 1, stay here. 2, bring the heel closer to your hip. 3, take your left hand or same side hand and reach for your foot. Some of you are going to be able to do this, others don't worry. Feel the stretch in your quad. And the more you press into your hip, the more you press your hip to the floor, the deeper your stretch, right? Good. Some of you have done this with me a number of times. It's become one of my favorites. Good. Either stay here or let go of your foot, but hold it there. Yes, you may cramp up. If the cramp is too much, let it go. Breathe, just stretch and let that leg go. Good. Other side. Bend your right. Lengthen that thigh. Press into your hip point. Reach that back. Reach the hand back for the foot if you can. Keep pressing the hip into the floor. Don't let it lift. 1, stay here. 2, come out. That's enough. 3, hold it in place. Woo. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and let go. Breathe. Press into both hips. Lift into Sphinx pose. So you, right? You know how your back is feeling. If it's tricky here, if it's tender, walk the elbows further forward, but then press into the elbows to keep the chest from collapsing. If you can, though, your elbows are right underneath your shoulders. They're about shoulders width apart. Press into your hands, press into your knees, and start a tuck of your belly. So you're actually going to tuck in, tuck in, tuck in. And if you can, lift as your chin tucks and hold. You're just lifting, I don't know, 3, 4 inches off the floor, but squeeze that belly button into the back. Keep tucking. So you're really in a cat pose here. And then slowly lower once your hips are down, lift your head. Good. Exhale. Tuck, 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 tuck. Chin tuck, belly tuck. Squeeze it in. And release. Inhale. One more right here. Tuck in, tuck in, tuck in. Core work, right? No kidding. Woo. Breathe, everybody. If you lift your hips too high, you lose the belly part. Breathe. And lower. Holy moly. And then lower all the way down. Bend both knees, windshield wiper. That's it. And then lower the legs. By the way, if you take your legs wider on your mat, that is easier for your lower back. So if you want to just be a little bit more gentle and still do the exercises, you can go there as well. All right, so hands down, take your left hand on top of your right. We've played with this before. Forehead to your hands. Press into your hips. Leave your right hand down. Press into your right arm as you lift your hand and your forehead in unison. So lift up and take it down. Good. 4 more. Inhale, lift. And down. Inhale, lift. And down. 2 more. Inhale it up. Take it down. Last one here. Lift up. And down. Good. Switch sides. Right hand on top. Press into your left arm. Press into your hips. Don't let that back start to really arch. Lift up. 1. And down. Try to lift your elbow off the floor, your chest off the floor. Lift. And down. Always think of this as the woe is me pose, right? It's like, oh, woe is me. My forehead, my hand to my arm, our forehead. And down. We got 1 more. Lift up. And down. Just pause. Shake out the hips. Good. Your hands are stacked. Your elbows out to the sides. Press both hands into the floor and lift just your chest. So at first, the elbows are going to stay on the floor. You're just lifting your chest in your head. And come down. Push into the arms to lift your upper body. And down. 3 more. Press and lift. And down. 2 more. Lift. Down. Strengthening the back body. Last one. Lift. And down. Good. Shake it out. Just pause. So this last little set, you're going to pretend these arms are like, you know, a jack that you would jack up a car when you're changing a tire. Your hands are staying the same, but as you lift here, what we've already done, then you're going to press into your hands and lift up. If that hurts your wrist, just separate the hands to see if you can lift up and then back down. Good. 4 more. Press and lift and down. Stretch your belly. Inhale it up and down. 2 more. Press and down. Good. Last one. Press up. Hold for a minute here. Press into your hands. Drop the shoulders. Just breathe. Working a little tricep here. And lower down. Bend your knees and shake it out. Well done, everyone. Good. And then final one here, just take your hands or take your arms out at cactus. I'm going to take the glasses off for a minute. Take the arms out at cactus. You're going to take your left hand, push it into the mat. Is that right? Yeah. You're going to take your left hand, push it into the mat, look to your left, and roll over to your right. Yep. Now you can bend your top knee and take that foot to the floor. We're stretching out that front chest. On the right side, there should be no pain. If there's pain, then change something. Usually the right arm has to change. We're stretching out the chest. Try to relax your head, your neck, and release. Other side, your left arm stays down. You turn your head to the right. You push into your right. As you lean to the left, maybe that top foot goes back. Stretching out the shoulder. Usually if the shoulder hurts here, one, you're just super tight in the chest, so go less. Or you need to change the where the elbow is pointed. It should be straight out from your shoulder. Big deep breath. And release. I know. Hands down to your sides. We're almost done here. Roll the shoulders away from the floor. Reach the arms. So I'm pressing my fingers down toward my feet, down toward those outer ankles. Pull the shoulders away from the floor. Lift up with your chest. Thumbs are pointing down. Hands are reaching back. Maybe the legs lift. Right now we're in locust pose. Find your breath. Good. And then I want you to swim 1 lap. So one arm comes forward. Switch. Other arm. We got to get across the pool. Switch. And switch. And switch. You got it. Switch. We got 4 more. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, and let go. Holy moly. Find your breath. Good. Grab one of your blocks, have it to your side, roll over to one side, and then come on to your back. So you just need your block within reach. Oh. Take the arms to cactus pose. Draw the shoulders and the arms and the backs of the wrists to the floor. Just a gentle press here. Make sure your neck, your head is neutral. So you're not lifting your chin, you're not looking up. And then draw the ribs toward the floor. And flatten your back to the floor. Just a little curl here, a little stretch. And then just release it. Good. Press the belly ribs to the floor. Keep everything else neutral. And just release it. Last one here. Just press down, press in. And release. And just feel it, right? Maybe turn the head side to side. We're just releasing a bunch of work we did. Grab your block. Place it underneath your sacrum. Now I'm going to give you an option because I trust all of you so well. Most of us are going to stay low here. Lowest setting of the block, solidly on the sacrum, nowhere near our backs. But there's just a handful of you that probably could go to second level. It is a deeper back bend. So you should know that that is a deeper back bend, and it puts more pressure on the shoulders, the head, the neck. So if any of that is an issue, you want to stay super low. Okay. From here, bring your, and know that if you're on second level, by the way, it's tippier. So you could tip, just so you know. Bring your right knee to your chest and straighten your left leg toward the floor. Psoas stretch, you can hold your right leg or not. You really don't need to, it'll stay in place. But from a safety standpoint, you might want to hold in, not even safety, just from a feels better if you're holding on to something. The other option, especially if you're at second level, is just to have your hands around your block so it doesn't tip. But feel your left leg really long. When we do a lot of leg centric stuff, this psoas, or if we sit a lot, by the way, this psoas can get so tight, right? So we're just going to hang here for a moment and stretch that baby out. If you went to the second height and it doesn't feel good, go low. If you're really curious and want to try it, go high to second level and see how that feels for you. Just breathe. And then play with where your left leg is. Like, what happens if you take the left leg a little bit out to the side? Don't go far because it'll skew your hips too much. Just a little more angled out to the side. How's that feel in your body? Where's that stretching? Are you tapping into the psoas a little bit more? Maybe so. Try to relax your jaw. We're done with the hard work. And then take the leg back to center and bring it in towards center a little bit more and see how that feels in your body. We're just tapping into some different angles here. Find your breath. And then bring that leg to center. Release your hands from your right leg if you were holding. If you're up at second level, just stabilize your block. Bring the left leg in as you straighten the right leg. Once again, if you're feeling your lower back, you're probably too high. Okay? Trust your body. I've always said that you are your best teachers. So when we listen as our own internal teachers, we generally can find the way. I don't always listen, but I try. So just stretch it out, everybody. And then maybe take the right leg out to the right just a little, just see how that feels in your body. And then bring it back to neutral and bring it in slightly toward the left. And bring the leg back to neutral. Release your hands from your leg if you're holding it. If you're up at second level, stabilize that block. Both knees up, both legs up to the ceiling. If you're at the first level, you shouldn't have to hold your block. This is where it'll tip the most if you're up at second level. Feel your shoulders on the floor. Inversions, so important for the body. You can do this with your legs up the wall. It's a beautiful thing. Find your breath, taking some of that pressure off the feet, the legs, the valves of the body, right? Just pause. Deep breath and let it out. And then bend both knees. One foot to the floor, the other foot to the floor. Press into your feet, lift your hips, move that block out of the way, give everything a good squeeze, and then lower down. Oh, and breathe. All right, knees to chest. Roll the knees to one side, twist to the other, releasing any other little bits or pieces that might still be there. I so appreciate you all coming today with the time change and everything. So maybe give yourself a little smile, a little pat on the back for making it to class. And then knees to center. Shift the hips if they got out of whack a little bit and take the knees to the other side. Nice easy breath. Wherever you are, take it in. Take in the gift of yoga, the practice of yoga, what it brings to our lives. And the knees back to center, hips back to center, both legs straight, and then let's find our Shavasana. Notice if you're lifting your chin. If you are, just let it level back out again. Shoulders fall softly to the floor. The legs are so heavy you couldn't lift them if you tried. The eyes close, the jaw softens. You feel the breath move in and out, belly breath. And you let the softness of a smile just come across your face, feeding your body those endorphins. And just feel your breath, feel the rhythm of your breath moving in and moving out. Take in the sweetness of this day. Take in the promise of all that is to come. And if you are feeling a restlessness here, just be with that and just Maybe inquire. Maybe you can settle a little bit more. Feel the heaviness of your body, the lightness of your heart. And if you would like to remain in Shavasana for a while longer, please stay and enjoy this beautiful pose of surrender. If you are ready to move, start to wiggle your toes, your fingers, and ever so slowly draw those knees toward your chest. Give yourself a big hug as you rock side to side, rolling the knees to one side or the other, curling all the way over to fetal pose. And then ever so slowly pressing all the way back up to your seated pose.